Okay, we're on. Okay, welcome to our convention recap call, and we're going to talk about Leaders Retreat. So I thought what would be fun is to break this call up into 4 segments. So we'll have convention recap, and there's a couple people that are going to share. So for those of you who weren't able to attend, you'll get a little snapshot. It's not like being there, so just know that. When I was there this year, I was like, oh my word, I'm so sad that 100% of our team couldn't be there, because every convention, I'm like, how in the world can Plexus top that one? But it was over the top, like in every way. It was really hard to even explain unless you were there. Just the Plexus energy, the people that were there, everyone that shared. I felt like there was a real sense of like authenticity and vulnerability with the people that shared, both from all the way from Diamond to, there's a lot of different ranks, with people that shared even from the convention stage, and they shared their stories. So I love that it was very story driven. There was so much that was done so well at convention this year. I thought it was phenomenal. Like, I came away with so much belief, so much excitement, so much enthusiasm. I was talking to Charlotte Seams. She's a Diamond and a mom of 12. And I was chatting with her at the Diamond meeting on Sunday morning. And she's like, I really feel like we're starting over with Plexus, because she said, I feel like right now there's just as much potential, if not more, from someone starting tomorrow than we did 3 and 4 years ago. And we were chatting about that. And I was totally agreeing with her on that. That's how I feel. I get these intuitions and the sense of, oh my, something's big is coming. And that's how I feel right now in Plexus. I just feel like it's huge. There is a scientific advisory board, and there's doctors that Plexus is coming on. I feel like they have set the stage from the corporate level in so many ways. Those of you that were there, got to hear from the executives, the scientists, the products team, the international focus. So in the next 5 years, they're planning to launch into 165 different countries. And they have just launched into Canada, and now Australia is the next full launch there. So that's super exciting. They have different focus groups that they're setting up. I know their goal is to help all of us in the field be successful. And they're looking at a lot of different angles, but they also had some really, really great motivational speakers like Christy White. If you have never heard her speak, go check her out on YouTube. She also has a book called The Business Boutique. I want to get that book. She is a Dave Ramsey girl. We heard her last year in Maui, and she was phenomenal this year at convention. Like, I felt like she was kind of parodying Dave Ramsey in Maui last year, but this talk that she shared, she really owned it. It was great. And she ended from the stage at a corporate event with 12,000 people. She ended with a scripture. You are the light of the world, a city set on the hill. That Matthew 5 scripture was excellent. John Maxwell was amazing. I loved the ambassador stories, the breakouts. They had different breakouts with rank specific sessions. I really wish those were all recorded so that I could listen through all of the trainings that you guys had. But I'm sure you were that were there came away with some great things. And sometimes, all of that is really, really good. But sometimes the biggest takeaways that you get are from, chatting with people in the hallways, from, meeting different people that you've admired in Plexus and maybe that aren't on your team, meeting people and all of a sudden becoming power partners with those people, sideline friends, the meals that are shared, the PJ parties, the late night chats, all of those things help your mindset, your belief, your excitement, sometimes you just come away with one idea that changes the trajectory of your business for the whole next year. So such fun stuff. So I wanted to encourage everyone. I know some of you probably are still in the mode of trying to get reorganized and regrouped and rested up. I don't know about you guys, but I've been trying to rest and just put things away. Some of you guys had travel baubles and were home later than you thought and things like that. But I would encourage you, take time to reflect, to go over your notes, rewrite them. That's what we've been doing. I have been using my lovely Plexus notebook that we got and just kind of reflecting back over the notes because it was such phenomenal stuff. But I did want to share my biggest, kind of crazy, but my biggest takeaway actually was from Kristen Abart. She spoke during the Diamond training. And she said that her sponsor, when she first signed up, said, Kristen, 2 things. Get everyone that you know on the products And number 2, look for influencers and sign them up. And so that's going to be my 2 cents, my 2 tips for people that come to me and want to really build a legacy team, because that was the theme of convention, was legacy. And that this is not the short term. I mean, I think sometimes we get them in the mindset, oh, I just need my 3 people this month. Just sign them up, hurry, scurry. And, you know, and maybe they're a one-hit wonder. We need to be thinking long term, and who is going to help build a legacy team? Who has, and this is what she said she looks for when she's looking for influencers and people to help them build their legacy team, is they look for emotional maturity. So that means people that are not going to be dramatic and, you know, flying off the handle all the time. Spark. If you haven't read Vanessa Van Edwards' Captivate book, it's kind of hand in hand with the Dale Carnegie How to Win Friends and Influence People book. It's just an influence book. So Spark is something that they look for, and work ethic. So those 3 things. And she said the huge reason why she's so successful and they have multiple jewels on their team is because she has recruited up. She's recruited people better than herself. And, you know, and they're always growing. That's the big things I heard this weekend, is your ability and your willingness to grow, to learn new things, to get outside of a comfort zone, push past your fears, and do scary things. So our goal for you guys is that you stand on our shoulders and do it better than us. Be more consistent, recruit better people than you, than us, you know, all those things. So that was my quick little blurb and takeaways from convention. But we do have a couple girls on tonight that are going to share, and all 3 of them, actually, this was their first convention. And they are all senior golds, and 2 senior golds and a ruby. And it's Lynn, Molly, and Kathleen. So Molly, where's Molly? Do you want to go first? And I'll just let you guys, when you're finished, just unmute, and Lynn or Kathleen just pipe in when the other one's done. They're going to share their top takeaways.
Hi, everyone. So at first, you know, I wasn't really sure what I was getting into when I agreed to go to convention. I went to that Super Saturday, so I got some convention points, and I got a voucher for half off registration. Can you guys all hear me? Okay. But you know, for any mom to leave their house, it's like prep, prep, prep. So much work goes into it, and I wasn't really sure if it was worth it. But let me tell you all, it was so worth it. Nothing that I've been to with Plexus compares to that. So belief building, just so fun and so educational too. I kind of feel like with my team, I'm at a point where I need to grow personally so that I can lead my team better. So a couple of my favorite takeaways were, somebody said growth and comfort cannot coexist. So for me in my life as a mother and as a wife, I've really orchestrated and worked to orchestrate my life so that I'm comfortable, so that things run smoothly, so there's not a lot of bumps in the road. But I think that comfort is just a form of being scared. So I love that aspect of Plexus that pushes me outside of my comfort zone, pushes me to grow, because that personal growth aspect has been the hugest unexpected blessing of working this business that there is. A couple other takeaways I had were don't overcomplicate, duplicate. This business and growing your team and sharing the blessing, it's not complicated. It's very simple. That doesn't mean, though, that it's going to be easy. It's going to be hard work. It's going to take diligence and discipline. And discipline is just something that you need to cultivate in yourself, and it will, you know, flow over into all other areas of your life as a benefit. So don't overcomplicate, just duplicate. Focus on going silver every month, and then help your people to do that as well. So that's something that I'm working on, and in that journey of helping to develop silvers, another tip that was shared was baby steps. So we that have maybe been working the business a few months in, you know, we see a lot, but we have to remember when you first join, it can all be overwhelming. So we really need to break it down into baby steps. So for instance, I'm guilty of saying, have you printed out your list of 64 people and filled that out? You know, and really that's 5 steps all combined. So it was brought to my attention, it's more applicable to say, have you printed it out? Just print it. Don't fill anything out, just print it. That's one baby step. Let's talk after you do that. We'll talk tomorrow at noon. And then, you know, have you filled out 4 names of people that you have influence over? just that baby step. So then it breaks it down. People don't get overwhelmed. People, these small goals that you're setting, small goals build big belief. So as they accomplish each small baby step, it really gets their momentum going, gives them confidence, builds their belief in the business and also in the products. I also loved this takeaway of what are the essentials. There's so much going on in Plexus. Product knowledge and personal development, growing your teams, all this fun stuff, contests, incentives, scrolling Facebook, scrolling Instagram, commenting, building your circle of influence. It's really easy to get sidetracked by things that aren't important. So I'm a busy mom. I've got a lot of kids. I've got a lot on my plate. I have to work this in the nooks and crannies of my life. So it really helps me to determine what are the essentials and stay there. Put my blinders on and refuse to be sidetracked by things that are going to take my attention from what's really important and what really gives me my desired results of building my team and helping other people. So those are my biggest takeaways. And I would just encourage you all to come to convention next year, work really, really hard for Leaders Retreat, because one team is going to dominate that cruise ship and it's just going to be a great, great time together.
Molly, can you share with us your those top things for you, what that looks like in your business really quick, like your top 3 or 4 or 5 things?
So focus on the essentials. And so what that means, doing my IPAs, committing to not scrolling through Facebook, not scrolling through Instagram, and I'm going to really be mindful to equip people to answer their own questions. You probably get that too. You're answering the same things over and over again. Really streamline that, equip people to answer their own questions, show them where to go so that my time on my work can be doing my IPAs. What was another big takeaway?
So like for your IPA, what does that look like for you specifically? Like
people. Contacting people, following up with people, contacting people, following up with people, answering their questions, getting them their information. This whole conference, though, was just huge in building belief, because I feel like when I believe and I'm passionate and I'm confident, people get that, and it really, really transmits to them through conversation, through my tone of voice, through what I'm saying, and that is huge. Another huge takeaway was you can't lead people that you don't have influence over. So I've always been huge on that, trying to build my circle of influence, offer value to people with my Facebook posts, Instagram posts, and just in my daily conversations. Seek to enlarge your circle of influence, because those are the people that you can lead. So that's kind of what it looks like for me.
Very good. Thank you so much for sharing that. And that is so true. True IPA activity. And I like that, enlarging your circle of influence. Excellent. Thanks for sharing, Molly. Okay, Kathleen, you want to go next and share?
Hey, can you hear me? Yep, okay. Well, first, I have to say that I did not want to go. And I found every way to get out of it. Even after my husband had said, yes, babe, you should go. Like the next day I said, are you sure I should go? Don't you think I probably shouldn't go? He's like, you need to go. So I think I didn't want to go because I think I was a little jaded from another, company. And so I thought, what else is there to learn? This is all cliche. I really don't think that there's anything else that I'm going to hear that I haven't already heard. But I determined that when I went, I would go with a very open mind. And so that was the first thing, because although I was working my business, I was not working it with passion. I was working it, but not with the passion that I really believed in the company. Like I believed in the products because I had a physical difference and I see my friends are having it, but I didn't really believe in the company that much. So, and my notes are in Angie Ambrosetti's garage. So I don't have my notes. So I'm just kind of winging it on what I got from the conference. I think the thing that was shocking to me was how warm the whole atmosphere was. It was there was a few cliche things, but it was so needed, even the things that I maybe have already heard, because it was said from a different almost from a different heart, if that makes sense. So I see this company, they've got this warmth, they're allowing freedom of faith, they're allowing families, which really got me. I mean, I thought that was so sweet. You know, there's children, and I just thought that was just the best. So I love seeing all that. I love seeing that they are really family oriented. As far as in our breakout session, that's where I really had to keep an open mind, because I thought, oh, you know, here we go. But oh my word, that was where I felt like I had a light switch. I could almost physically feel a switch turn on. And it was the weirdest thing, because I did not expect it. I didn't see it coming. And all of a sudden I'm going, oh my word, I had been so stubborn to close my mind and to close my heart to what I could learn. And here I am, I'm learning from these people, and it was awesome. So one thing, and this wasn't in the breakout session, but this was in the big thing. Someone said in there, but it made sense to me, don't focus on the stairway, focus on the step. And so that was big for me, and to just not look. I mean, yeah, I know where I want to go, but I have to get those little steps done first. In the breakout session, something I haven't been doing, but I will absolutely do, or I will be using the tools. I've not been using them. I've not been using any of that stuff, and I need to. So that was big, that it brought me full circle to that. And John Maxwell, he had way too many things that he said that I connected with, so I can't even, start on that. He was amazing. I've read his books. I've read a lot of his books, but seeing him in person was even better. So I'm really kind of not a blue personality like all the hoopla, but I did totally enjoy it. I'm learning to be a Smurfette. I will get there, because I really did have fun. And being with the girls in the room was super fun. Oh my goodness, that was just so precious. And just really being able to be Angie, I've known her. I knew she was a sweetie, but being able to be around you and Justin and just see how you kind of like protected your little herd, and you were just there for us, that just spoke volumes to me. So I think that was pretty much it.
Can you share? Yeah, thank you, Kathleen. Do you mind sharing what tools? Some people may not be aware of which tools you were referring to.
Well, like in the back office with the how you can download your list of 64, and how you can go through the steps when a new ambassador comes on board. And I need to go and get very familiar with this, because obviously I have not done that. But when they were speaking on it, I thought, man, those would be so good to have, to be able to guide people. And that is something that I will be using, because since I've come back, I've had a couple people come on board, and I don't care what their reasons are for coming. I'm going to at least point them there, and then, we'll go from there. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and by the way, Kathleen has gone silver, or will be by tonight, because she's going to sign her third person.
She just signed. She just signed up. Yay!
Awesome! That's so exciting. And I agree. Molly had said this, and I meant to reiterate that, and then Kathleen, you said it too, about our passion, our posture, and like that belief, that excitement, that comes through. And so I have been messaging even my current customers, and I'm going to be going through to my old ambassadors and my people that don't order 100 PVs, just say, hey, I am so excited. I just got back from convention. There's been some wonderful new products released, and I wanted you to know about them. And another thing that I'm going to be doing is like combing through my current ambassadors and saying, hey, I would love to help you go silver this month. I would love to help you get your products covered. I would love to hear your thoughts on that, just to kind of open up that door, because I know there are more people that want to go silver that will do that if I believe in them. So Kathleen, thank you so much for sharing. I thought that was so great. Okay, there's Lynn. She's going to pop on and share her perspective.
Hey everybody, so glad to be here. I did write a bunch of notes for this, so I will be looking down just so that I can keep moving. As you all know, the theme of the convention was legacy. So I have never really thought about what that word means. But my biggest takeaway from that word is that our mindset is going to drive our success, okay? And for us to be a legacy team, for you to be a legacy leader, for this to be a legacy company, we won't get anywhere with a bad mindset. So that really spoke powerfully to me, because I think so often it doesn't matter what rank you are, if you're just new or if you've been here for 3 years, it doesn't matter. Even Justin and Megan, we all have doubts and fears that creep in. And I think that's normal and natural, but what do we do with that then? So that really was a light bulb moment for me, to be able to identify that, whether that's, someone quits your team or whatever it is. If someone ignores your message, that can really put your mindset down and have the doubt creep in. Oh, maybe I'm not cut out for this. But you have to decide ahead of time, you're going to do this. And those feelings are normal, but then you're going to take action. And it's the taking of the action that just gets those out. So I'm going to just refer to my notes, but if I was going to define mindset, this is what it is. It's a set of beliefs that drive your thoughts and your actions. So it's really super important, step one, that is healthy and living in the light and the truth and not listening to lies and in the dark. So that would be my first tip. If you have a positive mindset, then that shows. And kind of what Molly was saying, it will show in the way you're speaking to people. It will show in what you do during the day. It will show in your passion when you're posting. And I think it's that genuineness that's going to come out in all of those areas that is attractive to people. People don't want negativity. One of the quotes John Maxwell gave was, you can't whine and lead, or you can't moan and lead at the same time. So I thought that was really good. And it's so true. If something happens in your journey that isn't the way you wanted it to happen, you learn from it and you evaluate it and you reflect on why that happened for about 5 minutes, and then you move on. You don't dwell on those things. But it is good to reflect. Here's kind of a funny story. At convention, someone, and I think I told some of you gals this, but someone I met who I had known from Facebook, not on our team, and it was really fun to meet that person in person. And then she just, at the end of our conversation, she said, "So what rank are you?" And out of my mouth, I said, "Senior Ruby," but I'm only Ruby. So then she's walking away. And I almost went running after her to say, oh, wait, hold on, I was wrong. But the point is, I see myself as a senior Ruby right now. And I'm not a senior Ruby yet, but I'm not satisfied and stuck where I'm at. I'm looking ahead. I'm looking forward, and I'm already thinking that's what I am. So otherwise, that wouldn't have come out, because I wouldn't have done that on purpose. So until you see yourself, you have to see yourself as a silver. You have to see yourself as a leader. And I feel like it's hard to attain those things if you're always doubting and not envisioning yourself as that. So give yourself permission to do that. Okay. Feeding our minds with new ideas. That was a huge takeaway. I was filled up at convention with lots of new ideas. I'm translating those to my team. Guess what? I'm a little bit scared. I don't know if some of these things will work, but that's okay. I'm going to try some new things. I'm going to test it out, and we're going to see if it works. Some of it may work, some of it may not work, but that's okay. And I think through all of that, we're all going to learn and grow. So don't be afraid to try new things. And that might be like having some people over to your house to try the new lean protein shake. I think that would be a fun idea. Or doing an online sip and see. Maybe you've never done that. Give it a try. Ask some of us how to do those things. Everybody is here to help each other. And I think those events are going to be really key to us earning these credits. And by the way, I'm just going to show you what I did today. So this is the teacher and me, but this is a little poster. So it just has a chart, and it has just the rules. because we need to understand how we earn the credits. If you're going for Leaders Retreat, you want to know, how do you earn those credits? I'll just say my own experience last year. So 1 year ago in June, I was happily in my second month on the triplex. I had just added X Factor Plus. I was never going to tell a soul. I hadn't told anybody, not even our kids. You know, they're older. So I just had this stuff in the cupboard, wasn't telling anybody. People were starting to notice my outlook on life was a little brighter. I had lost a couple pounds, but I was just back to life, basically. So people close to me were saying, what are you doing? What's different? And I was actually not telling them. So I would say, well, I'm drinking more water. I'm trying to cut sugar and all of this. And then finally, you know, my husband, John, was like, why don't you just tell people? I mean, what's the big deal about telling them? What are you afraid of? So it wasn't until July that I started sharing. Well, the way I am, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So as soon as I decided to do this, I was like, okay, what do I need to know? What are the things I need to do? Where's the information? So I could not get enough information. I was a teacher at the time, so I had the summers off. So I spent most of the days figuring this out, learning, listening to training calls, asking questions, trying things. But guess what? Right then I was like, wait a minute, what's Leaders Retreat? I can earn that? Oh man, it started in June. And I was like, well, I better really get to work here because I only have 2 months to do it. And then I did. Okay, it was a lot of hard work. But that event, when I came home from that event, and it was hard to get there, kind of like what Molly said, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be worth it. I had to get a substitute. I had to make all those sub plans. And I was thinking, was this worth it or not? Well, I went home from that event and I just said, if these people can do this, I definitely can do this. I met so many different types of people, young, old, men, women, all different stories. And, you know, that's part of that building your belief. So it was really important that I got there, and I learned a lot there, and I definitely want to earn it again this time. And again, it's going to take a lot of hard work. I take none of this for granted that I'll just somehow earn this. That's not how this works. But I'm ready to work, and I'm ready to link arms with my team and take all the advice. And I love how this team just shares their ideas, shares their resources. I mean, this is a beautiful thing about this team. I'm almost done. Let me see. Okay, in closing, what I wanted to say is surround yourself. If you're feeling alone right now, find somebody to be your friend, to be your partner, to be that person that you can talk with, you can share ideas, because I feel like that's really critical, not feeling like you're just this island floundering around trying to figure this out. Just link up with somebody. There's somebody for everybody here. And, you know, talk to your sponsor if you need help figuring out who that person could be. But that will be a big key to your success. And we can do this.
Awesome, Lynn. And by the way, I love that hat. Can you tip your head down? It's like the sparkly blingy. Yes, I love it. I didn't go with the bling. I went with the gray, like plain Jane hat, but I really like the sparkles on other people.
I wanted the plain Jane hat, but they were all sold out. And there were like 1 million of these left, because I think everybody was like, ooh, it's a little bit out there. But I was like, well, I guess that's the one.
That's awesome. Can you take a picture of your poster and put it on the team page so we can all like get a visual of that? I'm very visual, and so I like that. And Justin already has our thing printed out, but I like how you put yours on a poster board with the other things. I think that's awesome. Love that you're trying new things. That's been the story of my journey. When I heard someone's doing, you know, whatever the little creative idea is, I'm not necessarily super creative myself, but I can duplicate. So that's something that I'm always open to trying things. Brienne Coolidge, she's the brainchild behind a lot of the one-night events that we've been hosting. She has one that's specifically targeting Joyum, hunger control, and the lean. And so as soon as she gets those graphics up, I think by tomorrow night she's going to have them up, I will make that template for the team page so you guys can copy and paste and do that. And I agree, surround yourself with supportive people and get a power partner. You guys can find another silver or another gold wherever you're at in your journey and link up, or even someone on your downline, and host some events or host them with a couple different people. One of you can open with a live, one of you can close. There's so many good ideas. So love that. Thank you girls for sharing. So sweet. And I love to hear everyone that was there has a perspective and has a story and things that stuck out to them. So I encourage you to share those things with your teammates. Okay. The next part of this call is going to actually be interactive. And this is something that I did in the Diamond Sapphire breakout session that was absolutely phenomenal. Terra Castaneda was one of the speakers, or one of the trainers. And she and her husband are double diamond, and I love her training. If you have not tapped into Terra Castaneda, go search her on YouTube and go listen to her videos. Jordan Roddenberry is a Ruby or senior Ruby. She might be senior Ruby now, with a lot of momentum behind her. She won the Silver Stars trip, and she said Terra Castaneda just lit her fire. That's what she listened to. She tracked with that girl and let her train her to be a really excellent Plexus ambassador. So utilize other people. You don't have to listen to us. If you don't track with us, go find someone on YouTube that you really like how they teach and just listen to them on repeat, and then go do the things that they teach you to do. So there's a scripture there's a scripture in Proverbs that says, without vision, the people perish. And so this is what I'm going to have you guys do. She had us do this, and it's like vision casting, basically. And it's very simple, but she said, I want you to write down on a sheet of paper what next year, what this time next year will look like for you. And she said, because this business will gift you. And she said, dream big, vision big. Because, and she said to revisit this every 3 months. And she said, when you think it, it becomes. It's almost like when we speak things, when we start to think things, when we write things down, something happens and those things get set in motion. Justin was actually reading us a really great quote out of a Zig Ziglar book. I can't remember it right now, but I'll have to have him maybe post that on the team page or something, but how important that is. So I'm going to challenge you guys to take 3 to 5 minutes. I'll mute and write those things down and be as specific as you want to be. Okay. Tara said that she and David, her husband, sat down and did that. And she said everything that they had written down had come to pass. So I thought that was really interesting. So for me personally, and this is something she encouraged, she said, write down your points. Where do you want your points to be next year at this time? What do you want your team culture to be? And write down words for those. She had some different words that I really, really liked about team culture. I don't know if I can find them. Some of the words that I wrote down were strong, solid, overcomers, fun, loving, teamwork, empowering, some of those words, okay? Another thing that I wrote down is the people on my team. In a year's time, who of those people will be diamonds? Who of those people will be jewels? So you can be specific in light of those things. I had a couple other things. Maybe like specifically how this business will gift you with time, with finances, what those things will translate into, maybe mission work, travel, things like opportunities to do with your kids, maybe some of those bucket list things that you've always wanted to do. And so I'm going to mute. I'm going to ask you guys to write down those things on your heart. And I also say really quick, where did my notes go? I'll also say really quick that your why is different than your where. And this was something that Justin and I were chatting about the other day. We had a day to kind of process in convention. But one thing that I'm realizing as I'm chatting with different people and Justin too, is a lot of people were hearing that there's no why. There's no why. There may be a where. Like a lot of people, I'll take my seat cover off. A lot of people want this. Like when you look at that income disclosure, you're like, yeah, I'll be diamond. I like that diamond pay. But my encouragement is you need a why behind that. It needs to be more than just an income or the numbers of the money. The where is where you're going and why you want that. And it helps to have visuals. This is my visual. Long before I hit diamond, I swiped one of the seat covers. Did you have anything that you wanted to add to that? Okay, let's take 3 minutes and do that, and then we're going to pop back on and share about Leaders Retreat. Okay, ready, set, go. Okay, 3 minutes is up. At least gave you a little start. So I just highly encourage you to reflect on that, to really think about your vision, because without a vision, you will die as an ambassador. Not literally, but like it's very important to have a vision, to have a why, to have a where, and to really pray about that, think about that, and to revisit whatever those things are that you've written down. So that's all I have. I'm going to turn it over to this guy.
Okay. Well, it's good to see all of you guys on here tonight. It's a really, really exciting time, honestly, to be a Plexus ambassador. And the convention was the best one I've ever been to. I felt like I walked away with a completely different why I want to do this, why I want to continue to do this, why I want to be successful with this. And if there was one word that I took away with, just as I was walking around, looking at people, talking to people, the one word that I walked away with is responsibility. And I was talking to a cab driver from Haiti when we were in Orlando. He said, you guys you have the most amazing country. He said, this is the land of opportunities. He said, I don't like Orlando. He said, I love Orlando. He says, you have people that collect checks and do nothing. He said, I kiss the dirt that you guys walk on. He said, this is the land of opportunity. It's the land of plenty. And one thing I was just thinking of is with the opportunity that we have, with Plexus. We have a responsibility.
Mhm.
Really, this is what I was thinking. Colleen, this is what I was thinking. My own thoughts here. I'm just sharing with you. Is that I have I have an opportunity here. I have a responsibility to take advantage of an opportunity that I see. Most people don't even see the opportunity that's before us. I see it. I can taste it. I can feel it. And I have a responsibility to take advantage of this opportunity and make the most of it, not waste the opportunity that's before me. And so, anyway, that's one thing I've been thinking about the last several days. I thought the title of the convention, Legacy, was fitting in many, many ways. And I came home just with I don't know, I guess a renewed vision, a renewed fire. My why got bigger than it's ever been, and it has to. The neat thing about your why is that when you know you have a good one when it's bigger than yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know you have a good why when it affects, or you're doing something because of other people. If it's just like I'm going to make some money, kind of make some money someday, maybe a little bit more kind of money than what I had before, that won't make it through another back office switch over. Okay. That won't get you up in the morning and get you fired up. It has to be bigger. Okay. So you want to make money. That's your why. Okay. Why would you want to make money? What are you going to do with it?
Mm-hmm.
It has to be something it has to be something that drives you, and so I'd consider, why you're doing this or the business opportunity. I think it's a real important question that needs to be answered. But we're going to talk a little bit about, shift gears here, about Leaders Retreat. So Leaders Retreat this year is going to be awesome. It's on a cruise ship. I've never been on a cruise ship before. And so it's pretty exciting. I think that there is so much potential with this team. I think a lot of people from this team will be on that ship, and we will be known. I don't know if everybody needs to wear like matching shirts. We just like, swell the crowd with people from the team on the ship, but there's lots of opportunity ahead. But like Lynn said, for last year's Leaders Retreat, it took a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
And this year's Leaders Retreat is not any different. Actually, it's probably going to take more work this year because there's 1,200 spots. So people today were gunning for it.
Mm-hmm.
People woke up with a fire in their belly because their why is big and they know there's 1,200 spots and they got to work. So couple things. Let me see. First thing you need to do is print off. Yeah. If you haven't, I've printed this off. This is the Leaders Retreat contest. I'm studying this thing. It's going to be taped to my wall next to my computer so I can see it. And our goal, honestly, we can't go to Leaders Retreat this year. It's an adjustment they made at the corporate office. Jules can't go to the Leaders Retreat.
That's a good thing in a way because it frees up that many more spots.
So, but my intention is to help as many people, and this is both of our goal, is to help as many people qualify for Leaders Retreat and whatever prize they've set as their goal for Leaders Retreat. So I have this printed next to my computer. I'm looking at it and studying it all the time, and we want to help as many of you succeed as possible. So that's our goal. So first thing is print that off and know the contest. Mm-hmm. Know what's needed. That way you can plan ahead on what's needed.
It's live. There's a little ticker tracker in your back office that you can see every day as your team starts to add people, as you have people go silver, mm-hmm. and as you start to add your own level ones and customers.
Right. So here's a couple questions that if you're really wanting to do this and you don't know where to start, this is one thing. This is just a suggestion, but you can write these questions down because once again, like Lynn said, it's going to take a lot of work. So first thing I would ask myself is this: how many points did I end with in May? Okay, where did I end in May? How much PV did I end with in May? Because that'll tell you where you're at in light of your own orders and in light of your preferred and retail customers. How many new ambassadors did my team add in May? That gives you an idea of how you and your team are doing in light of momentum. Mm-hmm. Okay. Number 4, what does my daily IPA look like? Is it to reach out to 10? Is it to reach out to 20? Is it to reach out to 1? What does your daily IPA look like? And here's the last question I think we should look at is, what did I do with my Plexus business yesterday?
Can you explain IPA in case there's some people?
IPA, for anybody who's new and hasn't heard that term before, it's like it means income producing activity. What am I doing on a daily basis to produce, what kind of activity am I doing to produce income with my Plexus business on a daily basis?
Can you explain what that would mainly mean?
Yeah, I mean, to put it in layman's terms, who am I talking to?
We have to talk
who
to
am I
people
talking
every
to
day.
about Plexus? Who am I sharing Plexus with? Who am I following up with Plexus about? Am I posting on Facebook? Am I paying attention to my uplines team page if they have one? If not, am I paying attention to the team page in general? Is Lexi worth the cost? I'll let some of you guys chime in on that question while I'm finishing up here. But those are some questions I think that we need to ask first, because we know where we want to go, but the real question is, where are we? If you're lost and you're looking at a map, you want to get to Pittsburgh. That's great, but where are you? You need to determine where you are first. And the Army, that was where we were. Okay, they put us somewhere, and then they give us a map and a compass, and they say, okay, you need to go here. Well, the very first thing we'd always have to do is determine where we are. And sometimes that's hard, and sometimes it was painful because we were a long way away, which means we had to do a lot of work to get where we were supposed to go. But you have to determine where you're at now. That way you know what you need to do to get to where you want to go. So it's important to look at those questions before moving forward, because some people just need to keep doing what they're doing. Some people on this call are in full momentum. Your team's killing it. And what you need to do is to maintain what you're already doing. Some people on this call need to double their efforts. Okay, maybe you're not in full momentum quite yet. You might need to pick it up a little bit to get to your 900 credits, which is needed to qualify for the Leaders Retreat. You might need to double your efforts.
Some may need to start.
And some on this call need to start today.
Yeah.
So everybody's at kind of a different place, but you need to determine where you're at first. You need to go over those. You need to go over those questions. So a couple of things that John Maxwell asked 4 great questions, and I think that this is something also that we have to do before we set out on a journey, before we set out on reaching a goal or a dream or anything like that. And I'm reading another book by Robert Kiyosaki, Jeremy. That's really good. And so the first step of investing well, he's talking about, is having a solid foundation. That solid foundation, he was explaining in the book I'm reading, is being mentally prepared. And I think we have to be mentally prepared to succeed in any journey we take, whether it's Leaders Retreat, convention contest, running a triathlon, whatever it is you do. We need to be prepared mentally. And I love these 4 questions that John Maxwell asked the other day, and I think they're very fitting in light of the Leaders Retreat contest that's going on right now. Here's those 4 questions. Question 1, what do I want? In context of what we're talking about, we want the Leaders Retreat, right? 2, what will it cost? I mean, how much work am I going to have to do? What's it going to cost me?
Protected Plexus time is going to be essential. Like working in the nooks and crannies and just like chatting on Marco Polo. Like, I'm speaking for myself. Like, I'm going to have to be super intentional of having an hour or 2 a day.
So the first question, what do I want? Second question, what will it cost? Third question, am I willing to pay the price? And the fourth question, will I pay the price now? I think those are important questions that need to be answered as well. So real quick, I want to go over, I'm a visual learner. It helps me to see something. Just like with even the Plexus business, I had to see that it was something before I would jump in. So I drew a little picture. Do not judge me. I'm not an artist. These are stick people with big heads. But I want to explain, there's a couple things in light of the Leaders Retreat contest where you can maximize the amount of credits that you can get, okay? The first one is PV.
Mm-hmm.
You always, in all these contests, and as you look through the contest rules and all those things that you're going to print out if you haven't printed out already, you'll see that the most credits you can get are going to come from PV. You can get a total of 300 credits a month. Okay. Now, a lot of people aren't going to get 2,500 PV a month. Okay, maybe some of you are just starting, but still, you can maximize as many PV points as you can get because you can get the most amount of credits from that. Does that make sense? Yeah.
1,000 of your PV can come from yourself, so consider maybe you want to get a retailer pack and then your own products on top of that or whatever. But one thing that really helped me maximize my PV, I think I signed 10 customers or maybe more in April when I had to max mine, was doing those product tester posts for customers. So I basically gave them my price, which was a little rebate of the difference between a wholesale triplex and a preferred customer triplex. So I just rebated like, I think 10 or 15 bucks back to that person. They were a preferred customer, but it helped me up that PV.
Mm-hmm.
And also if you have current customers or former customers, incentivize them to try a new product this month.
Right.
Maxing PV this month is going to be so helpful for you in the long run.
So outside of PV, one of the other ways I see by looking at this contest, that one way you can maximize points is obviously by recruiting and then helping people go silver. Helping people go silver and maintain silver is going to give you a lot of credits. And that's what I drew this picture of. Once again, do not judge me. I don't know if you can see it or not. Here we go. So I'll try to explain this here real quick. So this is a level 1 customer, and this here, actually, it looks odd probably to you, wondering what in the world it is. It actually says 50. So I'll explain that in a minute. But so if you sign up a level 1 customer, let's say in June, right?
Customer or ambassador?
I'm sorry, ambassador. My wife's correcting me here. So anyway, so if you sign up a level 1 ambassador in June, and you can get that level 1 ambassador to silver, which means they sign up 3 ambassadors themselves. This is what that means in light of credits for the Leaders Retreat contest. You're going to get 10 points here for signing up a level 1 a commission qualified level 1 ambassador. Okay, so you get 10 there. These level 2s that they signed up to become silver, you're going to get 10 for each one of those because you get 10 credits for a level 2 ambassador. So you got 10 originally, 20, 30, 40. Okay, so there's 40 credits you got. Plus, since this level 1 ambassador went silver, you're going to get 20 credits for that. So now you're up to 60. You follow me? Now, not only that, your level 1 ambassador is going to get 50 credits for promoting to silver. So this is one of the best ways to actually get credits. Now, fast forward. Let's just say this happens in June. Okay, that's what, 60 credits? Now, in July, if they maintain their rank as silver, you'll get an extra 10 credits for them maintaining their rank. Now you're at 70. You'll get 2 credits because you have not only a silver that maintained rank, but also a level 1 who maintained, kept their order on. There's 72 credits. And you go to August, the last month of the contest. You get another 10 credits because they maintained silver. Now you're at 82, and another 2 because you have a level 1 who stayed current with they stayed commission qualified. So that's 84 credits you can get by signing up a level 1 and getting them to silver. Just for doing that one time. Now, I'm going to add one more thing here, and I'll be done with this diagram. If that person that you sign up, let's say, or if, hold on. Whoa, what happened there? Sorry. Now, if you go silver while you're doing that, that's an extra 50 credits. If you go gold while you're doing that, promote to gold by doing this, that's an extra 75 credits. So you can get from 134 to 159 credits by just signing a person up and getting them to silver. It's the absolute best way to gain credits outside of PV is to get people to silver.
And attrition, you want to talk about how much that curves that?
The faster you get someone to silver, the more likely they are to stay on the products and to stay on the business. And here's one reason why. It's because $100 in someone's pocket, that's what you get for going silver, often exceeds people's expectations of network marketing.
Mm-hmm.
People have such a low, typically, opinion of network marketing, even if they make $100, it exceeds their expectations. So
80% of the people that go silver will be with you next year at this time.
Today to be sharing about
And
different.
if they don't go silver, there will be, they'll only stick on for, the majority only stay on for about 60 days.
So this fits everything that they've been talking about for the last several months. And then one of the themes that you'll see over the last several months, this whole year, they've been rewarding people who help others go silver. This is no different than any other contest that we've had. This is no different than any other corporate incentive that we have. They really value people going silver. So it's a great way to earn credits. I think the best way to earn credits outside of PV. So help as many people, just be thinking about how you can help others to go silver. And that's going to be a great way to succeed in this contest.
I had a couple of thoughts really quick. One thing that I'm going to be doing is reaching out to my current wholesale ambassadors and my new ambassadors and just being super excited and saying, hey, I'm so excited about helping people go silver this month. It'll put $100 in your pocket and you'll get your products covered this month. And there's this fun, I don't know if you guys can see that picture, probably not, but that Build Your Legacy, enroll 3, 6, or 9, and you get those prizes. So Kathleen's already run the beach towel. I'm sure several of you have. And then there is that cute little pineapple raft floaty thing, and then there's a beach bag. So check out that graphic if you haven't seen that, but that rolled out at convention. And I think that's a great thing. Maybe it was Carrie, was saying that she reached out to someone and said, hey, you're one person away from earning that cool beach towel. And you can even screenshot the towel to them because it just motivates people, it encourages them. So definitely reach out to people that you see that are close to going silver as well. And celebrating them big. One of the things that I have not rolled out yet, but was that Active Leader Achiever recognition. Basically, it's recognition, but like we all like to be recognized. But for people to earn that recognition for going silver on the team this month, so probably towards the end of, maybe I don't know when I'm going to roll that out, but just to encourage people to do that, find out who wants to go silver. And then I'm probably going to incentivize even on top of the corporate little incentive special and the $100 that they get for going silver. I'll probably reward any of my level 1s that do that. At the end of this week, I will have something that just asks who is wanting to go silver, because I am leading a Let's Go Silver chat thread to train people using Brooke Hemingway's 5 steps to silver like I did last month. And if you as a leader want to be privy to that, I can add you into my chat thread so you can lead your own. That's what I'm encouraging everyone to do this month. You're definitely welcome to copy and paste what I'm using and make your own video to go with it. But be definitely networking within your team to find out who wants to do that. And then next week we will be working through that with our people. And I'm incentivizing my level 1s that go silver that week. So little prize in light of that. So those are a couple practical things for going silver. I just want to share really quick. Don't forget the IPA sheets. Those are very simple. They're great tools for our teams to be working off of. Lead power hours with your people. Don't assume that they're working and sharing and know what to say. That's something that has been highly beneficial is, get a group of a couple of people, say, hey, let's do a power hour. Just get on Zoom. You can do 40 minutes for free on Zoom. Lead it yourself and just say, hey, right now we're going to reach out to people. Get your list. And these are some examples of what I say when I reach out to someone. Help your teammates know what to say. Network within your team. And then like Lynn was saying, host some events. It's very, very simple to fight attrition, that going silver thing. One thing that I feel like that I've done, which is not good, but like recruit and ditch, meaning I sign them up. I'm like, cool, they're on the products. Hopefully they see some results in 60 days. But then I don't follow up like I should and help them, lead them through the steps, the little baby steps of going silver. And talking, even asking them like, hey, what are your thoughts about sharing? Because sometimes that's just a clicker and people just need believed in. Assuming that no one wants to go silver is not good, because I was actually highly interested in this business, but I didn't tell my sponsor. I was like really quiet. I actually quit the products in my first couple of weeks. And so be talking with your people. If you can get them on a phone call or a face-to-face, just go over products and basic information that will help you retain them and help them duplicate what you're doing. Okay, and the last thing I wanted to say was just a conversation I had with a 70-year-old Sapphire ambassador. Her name is Darlene Cornelius. If you haven't checked her out yet, go to Facebook and follow her. She is the sweetest lady. But I had breakfast with her the first morning at the Jewel breakfast. And one of the girls that she was sitting with that's on her team said, my husband always says that this opportunity is the best product that we have in Plexus. Mm-hmm. And that clicked with me. I was like, that is so true. I see it now. Like, I get that. So do not be afraid to reach out to people about this opportunity. Just like Kristen Abart said, get everyone you know on the products and reach out to those influencers. So my challenge to you guys this week is reach out to your dream teamers, because they may not join you this week or this month or next month, but they're going to watch you closer. They're going to watch your journey, and we got to do that. So do not be scared. I have those people that I'm going to be reaching out to myself. So get the fire in your belly. So excited, guys. You guys can totally get on that boat and earn Leaders Retreat. How awesome. That's like the best Leaders Retreat ever. So are there any quick questions that you really, really need to get answered? I haven't checked the chat thread to see if there were any. For someone who is fairly new, how many people would you suggest to reach out to as cold reach outs when you have 0 customers but 5 ambassadors? Cold reach outs if you're new shouldn't be called cold reach outs. Cold reach outs is like to strangers. That's just my person. Like, if you already have 5 ambassadors on your team, that's awesome. But if you're fairly new, you should have a warm market. Aunts, sisters, mom and dad, grandma, grandpa, like all of those, like family members, and then your close circle of friends, acquaintances, people that you have influence over, people that you go to church with, those type of people. I like to use the word start the conversation, and just say something like, maybe you have something in common with them, or that they struggle with a health issue, or that they're a mom that really wants to have a side income stream or stay home with her babies. Reach out to them about that, like just genuine. Like, hey, I was thinking of you. I have no idea if this would be for you, but I wanted to share it with you. I'd love to chat with you on the phone. Get them to a phone conversation. I guess cold message. I don't know. To me, cold sounds just cold. I like to call it starting the conversation. Just open up those conversations. In light of how many, I would reach out to as many as you can. Like, get through that 100 list as fast as possible. Mm-hmm. So if that means you have 3 hours tomorrow to do that, do it. If that means you have maybe an hour a day this week, and then this weekend your husband's able to take the kids for an afternoon or whatever, or you're able to get up early, super early, or stay up super late, spend those hours reaching out to people. Mm-hmm. As for a number, I don't know. I don't really have a number. I've kind of always just gunned it, as many people as I could reach out to with the time I had.
Just keep going till your list is done and get another list. Mm-hmm.
And just pray that God brings people to mind and brings people to you. Be stalking your Facebook posts, people that like and comment. Those are definite reach outs. Hey, thanks so much for supporting my post. I'd love to hear what intrigued you. Or, hey, are you doing Plexus too? Or things like that. You want to take that one?
Is there a way to track your convention credits for items like level 2?
Those are added up on your, so you have anyone in your
Yeah.
customers and your level 1 through 4, I think it is, that adds customers, you get credits for. So yes, that would be included in your tracker. So if you see your tracker, it has the points the points broken down below.
Right.
And you might be able to click on that and just see the report of those people as well. Any other quick questions? How do you encourage your people with the opportunity? Believe in them. Tell, like, if you see certain things in them, like that they would be really good at the opportunity, or hey, ask them what their thoughts are. Just ask them a question, like, hey, what are your thoughts about this opportunity? Like, I know you're doing Plexus for the products, but I know a lot of us are kind of intrigued before we ever start to share. So what are your thoughts? I'd love to hear. And then sometimes that will open up conversation, and they'll say, yeah, I'm actually really interested, or hey, we've been praying for some sort of side income stream. Or maybe they'll be able to open up about their fears about network marketing or MLMs. Sometimes it just kind of gives you insight into their brain space. One thing that Cassie Johnson said that I did, I don't even remember doing this, but I started tagging her and stuff on the team page. So if we make a post about going silver, or a graphic chart of silver getting your products paid for, tag your new ambassadors, and you can just say, hey, thought you might like to take a peek at this. And then you could send them a private message and say, hey, I tagged you in something about going silver. Have no idea if you want to this month, but it'd be an honor to work with you and help you do that.
Okay, let's see.
Can I say something really quickly too?
Yeah.
Just like your belief in the products comes through when you're talking to people and approaching them about trying your products, your belief in the opportunity comes through as well. If you're apologetic or like kind of embarrassed that it's an MLM or network company, or you don't want to seem like you're selling anything, that comes through too. But if you're bold and confident about the opportunity that's available, I noticed that they are much more eager or open to that idea as well.
Absolutely. So it doesn't seem to include the tracker points credits right away. Where'd it go? It might take a little bit to update. It's not a live convention tracker, so it's not going to happen right as it happens. It's going to take some time to update, but
yeah, that updates within a couple hours.
Right, it does update within a couple hours. Yes.
Take that one. Okay, guy question.
Okay, I'm a new ambassador, full-time job, 100% fired up. Who is this? Is Kenneth?
Awesome.
Okay, cool. For a guy to share with others and balancing between the two businesses. Yeah. Well, for me, when I first started, I didn't start really on Facebook. I didn't try to create a network. What I did is I just used the network I had, the guys I was around all the time. I had worked with the guys for some of the guys for, 13 years. So I had a pretty good rapport with them, and I was the boss. So they didn't really have much of a, the boss is talking to me, right? So I just try to take that. I use that to my advantage. I didn't make them sign up, but they had to listen to me for a few minutes. But so one thing I did is I started making decisions. I started listening to network marketing calls and things about the industry on my way to work instead of listening to the radio or something else. I started listening to Diamond documentaries on the way to work, on the way home. Instead of going to lunch with the guys, I sat in my truck and I reached out to people. I sat in my truck and I followed up with people. I came home and we stayed up until 1 o'clock in the morning working our Plexus business. And then I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning and did construction. And we did that for a long time, and it was a lot of really hard work. And we retired a lot, and we went through a back office change, which was the first back office change we went through. Many of you didn't experience that, but it was 100 times worse than the one we just went through. So, and we had just started, so we're like, what in the world is going on? So we had to fight through that, but we made a decision that this is what we were going to do, and we did it. So whenever I could find time to talk to people, I've made it a priority. Whenever there was a live event, we made it a priority. Whenever there was a call, we made it a priority. Whenever anybody in the area, even on our team, wasn't on our team, did live event, we made it a priority. They said, this is what we're going to do. And up until the event we had here in Springfield earlier this year that Megan hosted, I had never missed a live event. It was the first live event I've ever missed. And I hated missing it, but kids are a higher priority than Plexus. So, it is what it was. But we made it a priority. And I mean, I didn't shortchange my boss either. On the full-time job that I had, I worked hard for him. But whenever I had time, I just made it work. I made a decision that's what I was going to do. Like I said, it was a lot of hours. We didn't get much sleep during that time, but it was worth it. Looking back on it now, it was absolutely worth the lost sleep. The other thing, too, I just want to throw this out there because some people say, especially this last weekend, I had the opportunity to speak to men at the convention. And this is a question, especially guys will have to me, I hate my job. I'm not saying this is you, Kenneth, either, but I'm just saying some guys will say, I hate my job. I'll leave that place. Tell me how to do what you did. I said, well, the first thing I would tell you to do is be faithful where you're at. If someone were to come to me and say, I hate my job, I hate my boss, and I'm gonna do Plexus. What do you think? I said, well, I think you need to be a better employee now where you're at. Be faithful wherever you are. I think that's the first step to promotion. The first step to something bigger is to be faithful where you are. God rewards that and in due time. So that would be some advice. But yeah, whenever you can find an extra minute, man, pour into yourself, read, learn, increase knowledge, reach out, talk to as many people as you can, as fast as you can. Maybe even learn how to copy and paste. Boom, boom. I mean, just, whatever you can do to maximize the time you have, do that.
There's something called Plexus Man Cave, so make sure your sponsor adds you to that Plexus Man Cave. Okay. And there's also some men events if you go to YouTube that are excellent.
I'll add you to the Plexus Man Cave.
How can I make my husband understand how important Plexus is to me and how much I want to do this? You can't make them. This is reiterated from what's her name? Sonia Dudley. She's like, give him food, sex, and what was the third thing? Food, sex, maybe one other thing. I can't remember what it was. But basically take care of his needs and then work Plexus when he's not around, or don't bug him with it. Because sometimes different people just have their own timing for things. And so I would say that would be my 2 cents.
I think the
Someone
third
have a
thing
question?
is show 'em the money. That's all.
What's that?
The third thing I think was show 'em the money.
Oh, show him the money. Yeah. money speaks to guys. So Bill and Tyler need to be in that man cave thing.
Okay.
So yeah. Justin wasn't on board at first. He was supportive of me, but he wasn't on board at first. So it's different timing for different people.
She also didn't, just to throw this out there for whatever it's worth, I mean, because it just is what it is. She also didn't, what's the right word? You have to be careful here. There's like 3 guys and 50 girls. I want to be sure I'm careful here, but she didn't badger me with it. She didn't harass me with it all the time either. Like, you need to get on Plexus, and this is the big opportunity. You need to be like Justin, or you need to be like Rob Heff, whoever. That's a bad approach if that's what you're doing. Because guys, if she would do that to me, I wouldn't do it just to like win the argument. Even if I wanted to, I wouldn't do it just to, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
You're gonna have to sneak it in.
Just be a great ambassador, and I always say too that marriage trumps Plexus. Marriage trumps Plexus. So make sure we have our priorities in line there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that if you really want your husband to support you, like, I mean, it's good to have a shareholders meeting and like talk to him like, hey, babe, I would so appreciate, you know, or I don't even know how you want to approach your husband about it, but like this is really important to me, and I just wanted to let you know, like, this is super exciting and I'm excited about it. And just ask them, talk to them about it. So I think that's a good thing to do. And yeah, Josiah says, get the products for free, then your spouse will try them. So yeah, learning those, sometimes it's all in the wording and the diplomacy of it, learning how to bring it up and encourage them to try it. So, okay, we got over time, guys. I'll let you go. Thanks so much for popping on. Hopefully there were some helpful things. I will record, well, this is recording. I'll put it on YouTube so that we can have it to share with anyone that couldn't be on tonight.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll add all those guys to the Plexus Man Cave too.
Yeah, this is a huge opportunity for guys. And I think the longer we go in Plexus, the more opportunity there's going to be for guys that see the vision. We need guys on that stage, guys. Please. We don't want it dominated only by women. We can get some guy jewels up there. Okay, yes, thanks guys for popping on, and cannot wait to see you guys earning all of those Leaders Retreat prizes. Be very, very fun.
Cool.
All right, bye guys.
See ya.